Buenos dias, y'all. RGT85 here. Hope everyone is having a great day. But of course, we've got some video game news to talk about. A couple different stories going on that I definitely want to cover. First time on the channel, hit subscribe, like, comment, share, all that YouTube nonsense. Without any further ado, let's talk about what's going on in the world of video games. And we have an interesting update on the whole Microsoft purchasing Activision Blizzard situation. Of course, we talked about this last week on the channel when it happened. It was a huge to-do. Obviously, Activision Blizzard is a company that has a lot of subsidiaries. We're talking about a lot of IPs are now going to be under the Microsoft and Xbox brand. And some people felt, this could sort of lead to some sort of monopoly because there's a lot of third-party games that are tied up in this, especially when we're talking about Activision Blizzard and all of their subsidiaries. Couple that with the fact that Bethesda was just purchased by Microsoft. It honestly does look like Microsoft is trying to build some sort of little monopoly or something. But now the big guns are coming in. Now the people who have no business really sticking their nose in this, in my opinion, are taking a look at this, and that is the FTC, or the Federal Trade Commission. So as we can see here, this write-up over on CNET, Microsoft last month announced plans to buy Activision Blizzard in an all-cash deal. That sounds, I'm gonna switch it back to me for a second. That sounds like a drug deal to me. Like, all cash? Like, what are you pop up with the briefcase or something? Like, here's $68.7 billion. Have at it, what you will. Like, I don't know, man. That sounds kind of sketch to me. And of course, this deal is expected to close within the next 18 months, which would make Microsoft the world's third largest video game maker and give it control of popular franchises, including the war simulation series Call of Duty and the fantasy behemoth World of Warcraft. The FTC will reportedly oversee the review instead of the Department of Justice, which also has authority over antitrust enforcement. The review will look at whether combining Microsoft, which makes Xbox consoles, and Activision Blizzard could harm competition by limiting rivals' access to major games, according to Bloomberg. Now, on one hand, it's like, this kind of does make sense. Obviously, this is a big merger. But on the other hand, like, I don't understand why the FTC is involved in this, because there's so many things that are available to consumers that are way more monopolistic than something like video games, which is an entertainment medium. Like, how many cable providers do you have in your area? How many different sorts of energy providers do you have in your area? Like, these are the monopolistic things. These are the things you need to be looking at. The video game world, like, why are you sticking your nose in this? I don't get it. I guess, upon the surface level, it does seem like they're trying to look out for the consumer. But as we all should know, if you are of any age, over the age of like 20, these corporations, these governments, they don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about you. They want money, and they want to look for loopholes in order to get more money. So why is the FTC sticking their nose in this? I don't really know. Now, they did do something like this when Disney bought Fox. It ended up being that Disney could not buy Fox News. They just bought the other divisions of Fox with like the shows that they would make, but Fox News was done as a separate entity. So there could be something with this. I'm sure the deal will go through, because all Microsoft has to do is be like, well, we're trying to put Game Pass on all these other consoles, but the other console manufacturers won't let us do it. We are doing due diligence in order to make sure this is not a monopoly style thing. But I don't know. This go away. Like, go away. Big brother, we don't need you in this situation. If you're buying someone with cash, like, just let them live, man. Just let them live. Moving right along, yesterday, Yacht Club Games held a special presentation on the awesome, amazing, super cool video game channel G4 TV. No sarcasm there. G4, they're back in POG form. But obviously, Yacht Club Games is a company that a lot of people enjoy. They did games like Shovel Knight. They recently distributed Cyber Shadow about a year or so ago. But there was rumors that there was going to be a new project at this event, and we actually got a look at this new project. The game in question is called Mina The Hollower. Now, this game looks awesome. Like, we're going to show the trailer over this right now. This game looks absolutely awesome. It's kind of like a Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past style. I would say more Oracle, the Legend of Zelda Oracle games, because of the fact that the company, Yacht Club Games, is looking at this game as a Game Boy Color game, like right down to the creation of it, making sure that this game would be something that you would see on the Game Boy Color, obviously with a few quality of life improvements such as widescreen and all that sort of stuff. But I love the way this game looks. I think it looks absolutely awesome, and I cannot wait to play it. Now, there is a little bit of controversy going around about this game because of the fact that Mina The Hollower is actually on Kickstarter right now. Looking at the Kickstarter page here, we can see there's lots of controversy because they asked for $311,000. I mean, this is like real time. They're already way over the mark, so it's not like the game is going to fail. We could see some different GIFs and stuff here of the video of the game itself, but there was controversy around this because of the fact that Yacht Club Games, to some people, is like an established company, and I find that absolutely bizarre because the people I see talking about this on Twitter, they're like, oh, well, I can't believe Yacht Club Games is doing this. Where were you when Platinum Games was doing their Kickstarter for the wonderful 101 Remastered and everyone was quiet about it? I was the only one who was like, doesn't this seem kind of weird? When you look at a company like Platinum Games, they literally have 2 offices and like dozens and dozens of employees. Yacht Club Games is like a team of like 20 or less people. So I don't really get the Kickstarter, nonsense over it, like why people are angry about it, because this is not a company that is the size and the scope and has big backing of other companies and stuff like that. Like, I'm a very anti-Kickstarter person, but Shovel Knight was a Kickstarter game originally, and Shovel Knight completely obliterated people's expectations and was a great game from Yacht Club Games. It's not like Yacht Club Games has a shady track record or anything, so I don't know. I'll have a link to their Kickstarter in the description box down below should you want to check it out, but I'm definitely looking forward to this game. They're shooting for like a 2023 release, and it's kind of a bit ways out there, but I do think this game looks really awesome and I can't wait to check it out. But I'm not going to bitch about the Kickstarter aspect, because if you didn't bitch about Platinum Games, you're not allowed to bitch about this. And finally, 'tis the season for the Nintendo Direct rumor mill to heat up. Supposedly, there's a bunch of proof online that we're getting a Nintendo Direct soon. I've decided to look at this proof and see what I feel about it, to see how I think this is going to go down. So basically, this is stemming from 2 different places right now, one of them being Monolith Software, and one of them being a IGN Fan Fest that's taking place on February 19th. So what's happening with Monolith Software? Obviously, these are the people behind Xenoblade. They also help Nintendo kind of behind the scenes with some of their projects. Well, they've revamped their website, folks. They have revamped their entire website. The news section has actually been sort of chopped down a little bit. They even talked about how the Monolith Software homepage has been redone. They've actually gotten rid of all the previous news that was available, and now these are the only 4 news stories available. They updated their copyright stuff to be 2022 instead of 2017. They have a new design on their website, and of course, there's the fact that Mr. Mitsuda of Monolith Software said on Twitter that he'd been working on a project that will be announced in the month of February on January 21st. On that same day, Monolith Software also announced on January 31st that they were doing the website maintenance, which of course brings this about. Now, to go along with that, IGN announced a Fan Fest taking place on February 19th that will involve Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge at this. Of course, this is a highly anticipated Nintendo Switch game. We were supposed to see it last year, but it did not come out. It ended up getting delayed until 2022. So a lot of people are looking forward to this. Obviously, Monolith is a huge company when it comes to Nintendo and Nintendo subsidiaries. They do the Xenoblade games. There's been heavy rumors of Xenoblade 3. So a lot of people are connecting the dots with this, and they're like, this is proof of a February Nintendo Direct, and it's gonna come and it's gonna be a big deal. And I'm like, no shit that there's gonna be a February Nintendo Direct. Like, this is not something that we don't know about. This is not something that is new and unique to Nintendo. I mean, looking at what Nintendo does, I mean, here's a list of Nintendo Directs that have happened in the month of February since 2011. Now, obviously, you can see between 2015 and 2019, there was a gap, but I mean, that gap was the Wii U. There was nothing coming out for the Wii U. They didn't have the 3DS that was chugging along at a fast rate. But in the past, 3 years, 2019, 2020, 2021, yeah, there's been Nintendo Directs. I don't understand why so many people are like surprised by this. Like, holy shit, there's going to be a Nintendo Direct in the month of February, a February Nintendo. Like, it just makes sense. I don't necessarily think this is proof of a Nintendo Direct. Do I think Monolith could announce something at this upcoming event in the month of February? Because, I I mean, more than likely we're getting one. I mean, of course, there's been heavy rumors about Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'm still holding out for a Xenoblade Chronicles X remake because that is a superior Xenoblade game. I don't care what anyone says. And of course, if you're doing something with Shredder's Revenge on the 19th of this month with IGN's FanFest, there's probably something that's going to be at a Nintendo Direct as well. Maybe a release date for that game, and then maybe at the FanFest they talk about the a new character or something like that. There's a lot of possibilities. There's a lot of smoke with this, so more than likely there is a fire, but I'm just not surprised. You know, I'm just not surprised. Like, I fully expect there to be a Direct this month. So, you know, here's a little bit of proof. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes, and I do think we are going to get a Direct this month. But as far as this being like concrete, definitive evidence, Alrighty, so that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to give me your feedback in the comments section down below. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, share the video around, enjoy the video. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. No, Capcom did not get bought out by Nintendo. Later.